Alright everybody, welcome to another Randall's Rant, and right now I'm going to talk a little bit about Donald Trump's latest brain fart, which was repealing and reversing President Obama's order to allow transgender people to use the bathroom that applies to the gender that they identify with. Now you see, logical people like me understand that, transgender people, they do not identify with whatever gender they were born with. But, you get Trump and all these lunatics saying, oh, it's just a reason for, people to go and spy on others while they're going to the bathroom. Dude, there's internet porn for that. There's several sites they can go to. And now, like I was saying, sorry to make that joke, but they're trying to instill fear. This was the same type of fear, although not to that bizarre extreme, that they tried to use years ago when they talked about, allowing people to use the same water fountains. Okay? That was looked at as a radical idea. And we all know that this was a minor setback. We gotta relax, because in about 30 years, transgender people are allowed to use the bathrooms that applies to the gender that they identify with. Or if we just have unisex bathrooms all around, man, people are gonna look back at this 30 years from now saying, wow, Donald Trump was really a moron, wasn't he? And I'm just going to say that we think Donald Trump's a moron now. But listen, he and his ilk, we know they're on the wrong side of history. We know that 30 years from now it's going to be proven. This is just a minor setback. And hopefully soon we'll get back to people being able to use the bathrooms that accord with the gender that they identify with. And of course, you also know that Donnie Boy decided to sort of skip town with the huge, I guess there's a conference for the press that's going on tonight, and Donnie Boy decided to skip town. Now, he did introduce an edict earlier this week that CNN, New York Times, Washington Post, all news agencies that have been critical of the commander-in-chief, and you got Sean Spicer saying, oh, well, we can't have people being, criticism of this president and blah, 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 and Donald Trump, in the ultimate hypocrisy, was talking about unnamed sources. He doesn't think that reporters should be able to use them. Well, speaking as a former journalism student, I know it's a bunch of crap, because unnamed sources have led to a lot of differences being made. Look at Watergate, for example. But the irony in this is that Donald Trump, and throughout the campaign, was, I heard from some guy, some people are telling me that there's a lot of crime going on. That was his whole rhetoric. Donald Trump doesn't watch the news. He gets his intel briefings from the Department of Somebody Said Something. And that's quite a scary thought in and of itself. But listen, Donnie Boy Trump, I refuse to call him president. I'm not going to dignify or dirty that office by associating his name with it. Good old Donnie Boy is on the wrong side of history. And his whole thing with the press is going to come back and bite him in the ass. Okay? I was a little upset. I shot a video last night in all perfect honesty. Watched it, realized I got myself a little too upset. I'm trying to be a little bit more rational in this video. Trying to be a little bit more, I don't want to say comical, but I'm trying to be a little bit more, you remember Bad Boys 2, woosah. But in any event, listen. I know Donnie Boy is on the wrong side of history as far as the transgender bathroom issue is concerned, and we know that we're going to be vindicated, us that support it. And as far as this thing with the press, there was another president who had a huge issue with the press and was routinely banning certain outlets from going into the press conferences, and that guy was Richard Nixon, and we all know how that turned out. So I guess we can kind of sort of look at this as a good thing, because maybe in a few years, Mike Pence would have to resign, and then Donald Trump would have to resign. And I think that gives us President Paul Ryan, which I guess, I don't know if lesser of two evils is sort of the appropriate metaphor to use on this one, but in any event, listen, I would rather have Paul Ryan sitting in the Oval Office versus a guy who, in Pence, decided to try to start his own government-run news agency in Indiana News, and a guy who absolutely is afraid of the news, and that is Donald Trump. And I'm going to close with this question. And any of you people who watch this video who are Donald Trump supporters, first thing I have to say is I actually have no problem with that. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear why you actually support this asshole. Feel free to write any comments down below if you have any problem with anything that I'm saying in this video. But, you know, the thing is with Trump, okay, how the hell is he going to take on ISIS when he's afraid of CNN and Jake Tapper and Carol Costello or anybody with the New York Times or anybody with the Washington Post? If this fucking guy is so tripped out by the news media in this country, how the hell is he going to take on ISIS? Seriously. Trump, you're a joke, man. How anybody can think you have... you know what? That's it. That's my rant. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully next week, whatever missteps that our Oompa Loompa in Chief makes, make another video critical of those. So, thanks for tuning in to another Randall's Rant.